What's up, my lovely ladies? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, go ahead and hit subscribe because I'm just dishing out the content lately. The goal of this channel is to inspire and empower women. That's what I am all about. It's my mission in life. And I figured that out by reading this book called The Passion Test. I think everyone on the entire planet should read it. I want to talk about self-perception. And a lot of people put this type of inner work on the back burner because they think there's so much other things in their life that they need to do first to get ahead. But my opinion is the first thing you need to do is work on your self-perception before you can get ahead. And the reason for that, and if you read this book, it goes into a lot of depth about that, is what you think about is what you put out into the world and what you will attract into your life. So if you aren't thinking of yourself very highly, you're not going to attract good people, you're not going to attract the amount of money you want, you're not going to attract the opportunities you want, and everything along those lines. If you're thinking that you are undeserving, you're never going to put yourself in this situation to grow, to get better, and to improve yourself. So I'm going to talk about a social experiment that I was a part of a few years ago in order to put this in perspective for you. Basically, there are 10 people in the room, and everyone gets a number to stick to their forehead, but you're not allowed to know what your number is. And if you can't see this, I'm a number 2, but I don't know I'm a 2. So I start off my mission, and I run up to number 10, but number 10 doesn't want to be my partner. So at this point, I know I'm not number 9. So I keep looking and I run over to number 7, and number 7 doesn't want to be my partner. But then I see number 5, and number 5 doesn't want to be my partner either. So at this point, I'm devaluing myself because of things that happened to me. So now I go up to a number 3, and number 3 wants to be my partner. And there's no way in hell that I would have gone up to a number 7 after number 5 had turned me down. So the fact that 5 rejected me means that I now will never try for anything higher than that. Whereas on the flip side, if I had been wearing a number 9, that would make me more desirable. So people would start coming up to me asking me if I wanted to be their partner because I'm wearing this on my forehead. I'm saying, hey, I'm valuable. So number 3 wants to be my partner, number 4 wants to be my partner, and the reason I start to see myself as high value is because number 8 came up to me, and number 10 came up to me. So when number 10 came up to me, that's when I thought I must be number 8 or number 9, because I'm seeing high value. So only high value things were attracting each other at the end. I'm gonna take this off. So if you see how that works, the lower number people felt devalued because of this rejection that they had faced, whereas the higher number people knew that they had high value and approached the higher numbers. So once I knew that I was lower than a 5, I didn't even look at number 7. And these higher numbers start to realize, because they're getting praise or recognition, a lot of people asking them to be their partner, they know that they're wanted. The reason I'm using this as an analogy is because I think it's a great metaphor for the way people see their own self-worth. We all have these stories or things that have happened to us throughout our lives that made us feel bad or questioned our self-worth. Maybe you got dumped, maybe you were rejected, maybe you applied for a job and you didn't get it. So now if you let this, it doesn't have to affect you, but if you let it, you're letting these take you down a few notches, these life events or these rejections that you felt. And in reality, in your life, you can come back from anything. No one has a real number stuck to their forehead. Maybe that's the number that you see yourself as, but you can always change yourself. You can always develop. And, no one's ever less than another person. There are things that make you feel that way that would deter you from pursuing something better. So if you're walking around with that number 2 on your forehead, but your dream job in your eyes is a 9 or a 10, you won't ever even approach it because you don't believe that you'll ever get there. There is no imaginary number written on your forehead, and you have the ability to believe whatever you want and perceive yourself in whatever light you want to. So I say you see yourself as a 10 and go for the things that you want to go for. And if you have a dream that you see and that's a number 10, then be a number 10 and go for it. Because if you see yourself as a number 2 all the time, which you're not, you're never going to go for these opportunities, because in your mind you don't deserve them. You're going to get rejected. You have all this fear around it. And if you build yourself up, the thing is, like, your self-perception changes every single day based on every event that happens to you, based on every experience in your life. That's how you build these perceptions, and you can change it. It's completely a choice. So my message to you is see yourself in a positive light, do the self-work, do the inner work, get yourself up there, because if you don't, you are just letting opportunities pass you by on a daily basis. And I think you should chase those opportunities. What I learned in this book here is that the majority of the world is not willing to do inner work. And so many of us have false concepts, false ideas about ourselves, labels that we've put on ourselves that stop us from thinking that we're worthy of getting our dreams and pursuing our passions and finding what matters most to us. And I think for women in particular, it's really hard because we're faced with all these, like, what do I want to call it, like stereotypes we have to fit. We're held to these like impossible standards, whether it's our bodies, whether it's our hair or makeup, how smart we have to be. And now in today's world, like, thank goodness, we're in the career world, but we're also expected to, you know, like, have kids, keep an amazing body, look gorgeous all the time, and, you know, like, have kids and now make your own money. So it's really hard to juggle everything, and the thing is, you're going to make mistakes. We're not Wonder Woman. I mean, I would love to be. But women, a lot of the times, like, we're held to these impossible standards. And like I said, you're bound to screw up at one point or another, and the screw ups weigh really heavy on us. Instead of checking off and seeing all the amazing things we did, we take those moments, those rejections, and we wear that as a label on our face. So when I got rejected by that number 7 and I got rejected by that number 5, I devalued myself. So every time, you know, your kid yells at you and fights with you and tells you that you're a bad mom, but you know you're not. Every time, you know, you make a mistake at work, like, you're not stupid, but we wear these labels on our foreheads and we believe them. And that's what stops us from making the next step in our life. So again, like, it's up to you on making the changes and doing the inner work. But I recommend reading this book. I freaking love it, and it changed my life. I mean, I wouldn't have the balls to be talking to a YouTube channel right here if I didn't do some inner work and stop caring what all the haters think. But anyway, love yourself. Love yourself so hard. That's my message. You're beautiful.